Strikes, demonstrations, and murder have become themes among university students in Kenya today. Just the other day, Mount Kenya University students went on a rampage, engaging police in running battles after one of their own was run over by a bus, leading to his death along Garissa Road while on his way to school. I am here at the office of the Dean of Students to discuss with him about this and much more about the students' welfare. Thank you very much, Dean of Students, or Mr. Dean, for the chance, at least to speak about the welfare of the students. Just the other day, one of your students was run over by a bus, leading to his death. Now, when you heard about that unfortunate incident, what was your first action?
It was actually depressive, and it was very unfortunate. And here is a case where a student is coming to the university, then you just hear the news that the student has passed on. Normally, it brings you down. The next thing is to find out who is the student and to verify whether he's our student or not. Then thereafter, we look for the identities, and after that I had to go and verify that is our student. I went personally. Then thereafter we had to go to the police to know exactly what happened. Now it is normally very hard to inform the next of kin. That is the hardest part of it. And also it is very hard to inform the rest of the students because they know him. And they have been with him, let's say, the previous day in class. And with that type of news, it is not amusing to anybody. So after informing the parents, informing the students, informing the university management, and the entire university at large through the Vice Chancellor, we had to also deal with the backflash of that. The backflash, there are some people who, of course, will take advantage. Some people who will be genuinely sympathize with the case. But what we normally have to do is to ensure that everybody understands the circumstances around it. And we do not celebrate or react on the dead when we know that there's a problem, not from the university itself, an external problem. Then you have to deal with also the police. Because with the police, so long as the students are on the road and they are interfering with traffic, they will not stop. They'll take action. And that is exactly what happened in the case of the later Miss Mtai.
How has the university management comforted the family of the deceased? Has that family been compensated for their loss?
It is not very easy to comfort any family or any community for a loss of a person who is young and potential. He was like a son of the community. The community had a lot of hope on him. In fact, he was being educated by the community, where the chief, the eminent persons around that area knew the young man. So after getting the news, they had to actually have a meeting at home to try to calm people down and also console. Despite that, we have been in communication throughout with the next of kin, because he was only remaining with the mother. The father is not there, passed on earlier on. So here is the single parent, comes from very desperate background, very poor. He was the hope of the family and hope of the community. Apparently he was very popular at home. People really liked him. And apart from that, there are also some people who they are related to or their age mates in various universities around whom we had come to know who are really affected. So continuously we had to engage everybody who knew him, that is the student, the relatives, the people they were staying with, and the chief, that means the provincial administration, and those people who have been sponsoring him, like one of, I think he's a chairman of one of the authorities in the country who was assisting him pay the fees.
So in other words, the family of the deceased has not yet been compensated in any way?
The university cannot compensate directly. We have not even buried the boy. He cannot be compensated directly. And it is through the insurance, probably the bus, where the compensation will come because of his potentiality, which we made sure as a university all the paperwork was correct. So even when I came to talk to the students the other day, I just come back from trying to make sure that those papers are right through the police, the morgue, and other things which could involve his legal part of his demise.
So the students went on a rampage and stoned a bus belonging to Kenya Mpya company, and of course we expect that there was intelligence which would have made you aware of the anticipated demonstration. Why did the university management wait until this happened, yet they would have done something to prevent it?
In fact, we told the management of Kenya Mpya not to have their vehicles around the university, near the university or on Garissa Road, but they ignored. So they were aware. That's why you saw when one of the conductors, when they realized that the vehicle was about to be stoned, they took off. They ran away. So I don't know whether it was a sort of intimidation or carelessness.
Now the students who are maybe thinking the management had not really followed up the story of the killed boy, I'm sure right now they have the answers to their questions. So away from that, does your office engage students in decision making, especially in matters affecting them?
Yes. For example, in this particular case, when it happened, I called all the student leaders. We had a meeting with them and told them exactly what has happened. We told them to go and inform the students and all that. The students were not happy about it because they wanted us to explain further. So we called the OCS, who was to come and address them. But apparently, when the OCS was about to address, the Kenya bus appeared. So they drew their attention to the Kenya bus. Then they started stoning the Kenya bus. It was bad to do that, definitely. The students should not have done that. They should have restrained themselves. But generally, our students are good. They knew it was not the mistake of the university.
So in what ways are the students engaged in decision making?
Many ways. Student leaders are in every committee in the university, and it is in the statutes, so that when it comes to any meeting involving them, they're always there. But of course, at this particular time, some of them will want to get more answers with some other agendas. Like you know now, most of the students have started getting themselves as aspirants for student leadership. So some of them tried to do that, but we told them this is not the time, and they understood.
Mr. Dean, I still want to hear these many ways in which your office communicates with the university students and not to.
Through their portal. When you get the information from the portal, then it means it is official. But if you get the information from any other source, then we don't consider it official. We have also university official handles, whether it's Twitter handle, or it is Facebook, or it is Instagram. We have official MKU communication, which we normally communicate to the students directly. We can also send SMS to students, bulk SMS. That's a way of informing our students. But there are some of the people, the students using WhatsApp and all that, who can distort information, and that is what we have seen. And in future, that's why we normally react to them and say it is a fake information. You saw what happened and how we did it the last time.
What measures has your office and the university management put in place so as to avoid distractions in future, like learning distractions, like what happened? What are the measures that are being employed so far to avoid such from happening again?
It depends from one situation to the other. You cannot put it as a blanket. But there are certain procedures which we use. The last thing we want to is to involve the external persons. For example, not to involve police when it comes to. We have to handle it within.
Advice can you give to students of Mount Kenya University as well as other students from other institutions, especially in regards to strikes, demonstrations, and other matters concerning the student welfare? What can you advise them?
At the end of the day, we have to go by reasons. We have to go by reasoning. Confrontational leadership in this country is out. All over the world, it is out. Out because one way or the other, people go on consultative measures than combative measures. We have to reason with one another. We are all partners on this. And if you cannot start fighting your partner and instead of reasoning with your partner. So that is the way we have. It is consultative leadership which we need in all our universities and also with Mount Kenya University. Because you are our children, quite a number of you. You are our children. If you can't reason within the family, then you can't reason anywhere. But of course, we have stress among the youth now, a lot of stress. One is because of progression. The other one is because of joblessness. The other one is because of hopelessness, the future. Then there is also employability in the country at large and the world. So we have to take care of that. We have also to see that the youth and most citizens have a good mental health for them to survive. But generally, education is power. Education is for survival. Thank you.
I think those are so powerful words. So thank you very much for your time, Mr. Dean. That has been the Dean of Students, Mr. Emmanuel Owor, expounding to us about the peaceful demonstration that took place in Mount Kenya University just the other day, as well as other matters concerning the students in the school. My name is Nafula Brenda from the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication.